Let's check in on a genuine D-list celebrity, a dude called Sebastian Stan. No, I haven't heard of him either. Maybe we downgrade him to the E-list. Now, Sebastian starred as Donald Trump in the 2024 film The Apprentice. No, I didn't see it either. But this self-important dolt felt the need to launch into a diatribe about supposed censorship and threats in Trump's America. He claims his little unwatched film predicted it all.
Now, and I'm just curious how your understanding of him has evolved in that time.
It's just not a laughing matter, to be honest. It isn't. You know, it's, I think we're in a really, really bad place. I really do. And to be honest with you, it's like, when you're looking at what's happening, right, which is, if we're talking about the consolidation of the media, censorship, the threats, the supposed lawsuits that seemingly never end but don't actually go anywhere, you know, the writing was on the wall. We encountered all that with the movie, you know, to the point where we were 3 days before the festival unsure if the movie was going to play at the festival. So, you know, it's... maybe people are paying attention more to that film. I think it will stand the test of time for that, but we went through all of it way before Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and so on.
You know, dude, you're a laughing matter, and if we're going to cop these intellectually vacuous lectures from Hollywood, can at least come from someone remotely famous, someone we recognise? Let's bring in writer and comedian Michael Loftus. Michael, who the hell is that dude and what is he talking about? Are Colbert and Kimmel victims that I'm not aware of?
Yeah, this whole thing was awkward when Sebastian Stan, who I think he was in like an Avengers movie or something, but he's coming across as like a Temu version of Mark Ruffalo. Like everybody was ready to have a good time. They asked that question about, ooh, what about Donald Trump? Expecting he would make a joke or have some big reaction. And then he got deep with it. He got that pseudo actor. This is like if you hired a clown to make balloon animals at your kid's birthday party, and then they started talking about philosophy. You know, just squeak, squeak, squeak. Here, kid, there's a dog. Let me tell you, what happens after we die? Why are we here? Just get off my lawn, guy. He's not good. And that movie, The Apprentice, that thing,
well,
I
you know
looked
what?
it up.
What they wanted, Michael,
$16 million to make, and it only made 17. He cost somebody a fortune.
Oh.
He actually should study from Donald Trump and learn how to make money.
I think all they were looking for, Michael, was a Donald Trump imitation. You know, if you've spent the entire film playing Donald Trump, they were hoping for a laugh, they were hoping for a little bit of wit, and they copped that.
Yes.
You know, some first-year art student lecture from some bloke that if you fell over him in the street, you wouldn't know who he is. Now, you would know these guys, rock legends, the Rolling Stones. They've been mocked for using de-aging technology to look younger in the music video for the release of their new single, In the Stars. Let's have a quick look. Well, Michael, I mean, they are ancient. I don't have a problem with that. They look good. Let it be.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant move. People always underestimate the Rolling Stones' love of money. They're really smart guys. Like Mick Jagger invented the logo for a rock and roll band. He'd do that. He's made so much money off of merch. I bet this is an angle for them to establish a copyright claim on AI versions of themselves, so that when somebody starts doing a Mick Jagger, they can be like, can't you hear my lawyers knocking? Yeah.
Well, talking about Let It Be and rock royalty, Paul McCartney has been ridiculed online after speaking about the hardships of ordinary life when promoting the release of his new album. He said There's a lot of hardship for many people. Some people might have a health issue, a financial issue, whatever. Everyone's got something, but we've got to beat our way through those hardships. One music industry source called out McCartney saying, Paul absolutely means well, but there's an unavoidable disconnect when someone worth billions starts talking about financial suffering. People online immediately saw the irony, to say the least. Michael, again, like, the dude means well, and just because you're rich doesn't mean you don't have other issues.
Yeah, and everybody loves Paul McCartney and everybody loves the Beatles, but you start to worry about him. When Paul McCartney starts going, we've got to worry about the hardships of ordinary people. Dude, you haven't had the hardships of ordinary. You haven't had that card to play since 1965. He's been rich longer than I've been on the planet. He's written songs about his love of money. They don't know, one of their first hits was, the best things in life are free. They don't matter. He loves money, and he's not that Beatle. He's the cute one. Maybe John Lennon could talk about, maybe George Harrison with the tax man. But Paul, come on. You're the cute Beatle. Get on your little walker, get on stage and sing me a song.